Hi there students, welcome back to another video lesson. So previously, we've discussed topics on union and intersection of events. So wherein illustrate natin what is an event and then what's the difference between union and intersection of events as well as yung complement of an event. Okay, so for the next video lesson, so we will first discuss the introduction to probability before we proceed to determining the probability of a union of two events. So, intro muna ng probability. So, i-refresh ko lang po kayo kung ano yung mga terms na related to probability. And as well as yung probability of simple events. So, for our lesson objectives, first, of course, we will be defining the terms related to probability. So, ano nga ba yung mga important terms na yan na kailangan nating pag-aralan para makatulong sa pag-aaral ng ating lessons on probability. Then after that, after discussing with you the terms on probability, so we will find the probability of simple events. Okay, so hindi ba meron tayong simple, meron tayong compound. First, before we proceed to compound, kailangan meron tayong idea what do we mean by simple events. So, paano natin sinosolve yung probability ng simple events. Now, for our first discussion, so we have the definition of probability. So, ano nga ba ang probability? So, it is a branch of mathematics, of course. But, ano nga ba ang probability? So probability again is a branch of mathematics that deals with the measurement of likelihood or chance that an event will occur. Okay, so ang probability, ang concentration niya is yung measurement of likelihood or chance that an event will occur. Ibig sabihin, may measure niya kung gaano kataas, gaano kababa na ang isang pangyayari ay mangyari. Okay, so may mga events kasi na posibleng mangyari, meron din namang events na impossible to happen. So probability of an event can be written in fraction, decimal, and percentage form. So when you were in grade 8, so you have there the lesson on probability of simple events, di ba? So we're in, so tinuruan kayo kung paano i-express yung sagot nyo kung probability of an event ang ating pinag-uusapan. So, again, we can express our answers by fraction, by decimal, or percentage. So, fraction, like for example, 1/2. 1/2 is a fraction. What else? Decimal. So, decimal, like for example, 0.35 or 35 hundredths, and then percentage naman, halimbawa, 45%. Ayan. So, the probability of an event can be expressed using these forms. So, kahit alin man dyan, basta tama naman yung sagot, walang problema. Let us now proceed to the important terms on probability. So, first, we have the word experiment. So generally, an experiment is an activity with an observable result. And then examples of mathematical experiments are tossing a coin, rolling a die, or drawing a card in a standard deck. Okay, so generally, so syempre kasi experiment, hindi lang naman po siya applied sa mathematics. So usually, ang word na experiment, ginagawa po yan sa subject na science. Okay, so kaya tinitignan dito sa probability yung experiment. So, kung ano ba ang mangyayari kung kinonduct natin ang isang experiment. Like for example, kung nag-flip tayo ng isang barya. So, ano nga ba ang mga result na maaaring makita natin kapag pinlip natin ang isang coin, ang isang barya. Kapag tinapon natin ang isang die. O bumunot tayo ng isang baraha sa isang deck. So, ayan sila. So, yung una nating figure, tossing a coin. Okay, so tossing a coin, makikita natin dyan, dalawa yung outcomes, head or tails. And then naman, rolling a die or rolling a pair of dice. So, meron po siyang 6 outcomes. And then, yung drawing a card in a standard deck. So, in standard deck, meron po siyang 52 cards. Hindi po kasama yung mga jokers. What else? We have also trial. So, in mathematics, a trial is a single run of an experiment. The number of times of an experiment is repeated. Okay, so may mga experiment tayo on probability na maaring mag-repeat. Okay, like for example, the table below shows that a die was rolled 5 times. Okay, so ang isang die, so usually ang die na yan, ito po yung isang peraso. Pero nasanay tayo na kapag die yon, hindi natin usually tinatawag na die. So nasanay tayo dun sa dice. Okay? So die, dice, tinatanggap naman yan. So ni-roll or itinapon yung isang die 5 times. And then yung mga outcomes, gamit yung experiment na yan, so 5 trial. So on the first trial, ang lumitaw na outcome is 3. And then on the second, 1, 3, 5, 2. So as you can see, meron po tayong 5 trial. It's because, ayan, that a die was rolled 5 times. So ibig sabihin, meron tayong 5 trial. Itinapon natin yung die ng 5 beses. And then, upon rolling a die 5 times, yun yung mga outcomes na lumitaw. 3, 1, 3, 5, 2. Okay, so yung mga number or yung mga outcomes na makikita natin sa die, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 to 6 po sila. So other than that, wala na po. Another is yung sinabi ko kanina, yung outcome. So in mathematics, an outcome is an observed result to an experiment. Of course, kapag nag-conduct tayo ng experiment, meron tayong outcome na makikita. For example, below are the outcomes in tossing a coin 4 times. So, syempre, kapag yung coin, tinos natin siyang 4 times, may mga outcomes po tayong makikita. So, yung outcome sa coin is dalawa lang naman. It's either a tail or a head. Okay, so, head or tail, H or T lang. On the first toss, yung outcome natin is head, H. And then on the second toss, we have tail. Okay. And then on the third toss, we have head again. And then on the fourth and last toss, we have head. Okay, so ayan po yung mga outcomes in tossing a coin 4 times. So 4 na beses nating initsa yung barya. So ayan po yung mga outcomes na lumitaw. So pwede nating isulat ganito. H, T, H, H. Okay, make sure and close natin siya sa mga curly braces. And next, we have sample space. So, sample space is the set of all possible outcomes in an experiment. On the other hand, sample point is a subset of a sample space. So, all possible outcomes. Ayan. So, yun po yung tinatawag nating sample space. So, lahat ng posibleng outcomes sa isang experiment, ang tawag po doon sample space. The sample space, if 3 coins are tossed, are, ayan. So, halimbawa, yung coin, tinos natin ng isang beses. So, isang beses lang halimbawa natin tinos. Ano yung sample space niya? Head or tail? Okay. Ano naman yung sample space ng die? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, yung cards naman, 52. Okay, so dito, 3 coins are tossed. So, 3 barya. So, yun po yung mga outcomes kapag tinos natin yung 3 coins. Ayan. Head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, 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 head, tail, head, tail, or tail, head, head. Okay, so kung mapapansin natin, meron po tayong 8 outcomes. Sir, paano po nakuha yung 8 na yon? Okay, so we'll use the formula 2 raised to n. Okay, so 2, ito po yung sample space ng coin. So, kasi di ba head or tail lang siya. Dalawa lang yon. So, n, ito yung bilang ng coins. Okay, so kung ilang beses mo tinapon, halimbawa kung ilang beses mo tinapon yung coin. Okay, so dahil 3 coins dito, n is equal to 3. Kaya magiging ganito siya. 2 raised to the third power. Or 2 times 2 times 2, 8. Kaya meron tayong 8 possible outcomes. Next, in mathematics, we also have event. So, dinefine na natin yan dun sa union and intersection of events. So, an event is a set whose elements are some outcomes of an experiment. Okay, so makikita natin, makukuha natin yung mga events na yan dun sa mga outcomes ng ginawa nating or gagawin nating experiment. Like for example, below are sample events when 2 dice are rolled. So, ayan. So, halimbawa, 2 dice, ni-roll sila. So, ito yung mga simple or sample events na pwede nating kuhanin dun sa experiment na yon. So, first, getting a sum of 7. Okay, so isang event po yan. What else? Getting 2 identical numbers. Okay, so 2 identical numbers, ibig sabihin, magkapareho. And then, getting a sum of 7 naman, kapag pinag-add natin yung mga outcomes ng dalawang dice na yon, kailangan ang sum, pag pinag-add, ay 7. Let us now have probability of simple events. In a sample space, if each outcomes is equally likely to occur, then the probability of an event E, denoted by P of E, is given by the probability of E equals the number of ways that an event occur over the number of possible outcomes. Or in symbols, P of E is equal to N of E all over N of S. So the probability that an event will happen is from 0 to 1. So, diba, a while back, so diniscuss ko na pwede natin express yung probability ng isang event using fractions, decimals, or percentage. So again, kapag kinukuha natin yung probability ng isang event, ng isang pangyayari, nasa pagitan lang po yan ng 0 to 1. So if a particular event is impossible to happen, then the probability of that event is equal to 0. Okay, so may mga events tayo or real life events na that is impossible to happen. Like for example, if today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Friday. So that event is impossible to happen. So probability of E is equal to 0. It's because kung Tuesday ngayon, probably Wednesday po bukas, hindi po Friday. So impossible na maging Friday. What else? If a particular event is certain to happen, then P of E is equal to 1. So, ang kabaligtaran or counterpart ng event na impossible na mangyari, of course, yung possible. So, kapag ang isang event, 100% sure siyang mangyayari, so the probability is 1. Okay, so, like for example, if this year is 2021, next year will be 2022. Siyempre, certain na mangyari yung event na yon. Of course, hindi naman pwedeng pa-backward tayo. Hindi pwedeng 2020 next year. So, papunta tayo ng 2022. So, for us to be able to understand probability of simple events, let us have example. For the first example, a coin was tossed 3 times. Find the probability of the following events. So, ayan. On the left side, given na po yung ating sample space. Tandaan, pag sample space, nandyan po lahat ng possible outcomes in an experiment. So, for letter A, we have, what is the probability of getting exactly one tail? So, ayan, regardless po sa order ng ating mga outcomes, titignan natin alin ba dito sa mga outcomes na nandito sa sample space ang sasagot sa tanong natin na probability of getting exactly one tail. So, ito po. Tingnan natin yung mga outcomes. Ayan, isa lang ang tail niyan. Ito pa. Okay. So, ayan, tail, tail, tail. So, kahit na may isang tail yan, ang hinahanap natin, exactly one tail. So, tatlo kasing tail. So, hindi po siya counted. So, TTH. So, hindi rin po yan kasama kasi dalawa yung tail. THH, kasama po siya. THT, hindi kasi dalawa yung tails. So, yung mga binilugan natin, tatlo sila. So, our answer will be 3/8. Okay. So, yung event natin, yung exactly one tail, tatlo lang kasi yung binilugan natin. And then, over 8, bakit over 8? Yun po yung total possible outcomes. Meron po tayong 8 dyan. Kaya 3/8. Or pwede natin siya express in decimal as 0.375 or in percentage 37.5%. So usually kasi sa ganyan commonly ginagamitan natin ng fraction lang usually. Minsan decimal. Pero pwede lahat yan, yung tatlo na yan, using fraction, decimal, or percentage. Letter B, probability of exactly 3 heads. So, tatlong heads, exactly, saktong 3 heads. So, alam naman natin na isa lang ang magiging possible outcome dito sa exactly 3 heads. Ayan, ito, yung nasa una lang. Okay, so our answer will be 1/8. So for letter C, probability of getting at least one head. So we have there the word at least. So pag sinabi nating at least, that is greater than or equal to. Okay. So ayan, titignan natin yung getting at least one head sa mga outcomes natin. So basta merong isa or higit pa na head dun sa ating mga outcomes, counted po yun. Like for example, ito, at least one head. Ayan, kasama yan. HHT, kasama rin. Ito rin. As long as may nakikita tayo kahit isa lang na head. So, kung papansinin natin, ito lang 3 tails ang ating hindi in-encircle. Okay, so the rest, naka-encircle sila. So, our answer will be 7/8. Or again, pwede natin express in decimal, 0.875 or 87.5%. So, for letter D, the probability of getting at most 2 tails. Okay, so at most. So, titignan natin dito, alin ba yung merong less than or equal to 2 na tails. So, maaring walang tail sa outcome, maaring isa, o kaya naman equal sa dalawa. Okay, so yung HH8, possible ba to? Yes. Ano pa? Ito. Isa. Dalawang tail. Isang tail. Tatlong tails, hindi po yan kasama kasi humigit na po sa dalawa. Ito kasama. Ito din kasama. At ito. So, bibilangin natin yan, meron po tayong 7. So, that is 7/8. So, for letter E, what about the probability of getting 4 heads? So, based sa problem natin, a coin was tossed 3 times. So, 3 beses natin tinos yung coin. Is it possible to get 4 heads? No. It's because tatlong beses nga lang natin tinos yung coin. So, imposible makakuha tayo ng 4 na heads because 3 is less than 4. So, the probability of getting 4 heads is 0. So, imposible po na magkaroon tayo ng ganyang outcome. Or, makakuha tayo ng 4 heads. So, let's have number 2. A pair of dice is rolled. Determine the probability of the following events. So, nandiyan na rin po yung sample space. Okay? So, para magkaroon kayo ng guide. Okay? So, as you can see, a pair of dice is rolled. Kaya dalawa po ang makikita nating outcome. First and second. For letter A, yan, probability of getting a sum of 5. So, yung sum ng dalawang numbers is 5. So, dito muna tayo sa first column, wherein 1 yung first outcome. So, kapag in-add natin yung 1 tsaka 1, that is 2. Okay, so hanapin natin yung magkakaroon ng sum na 5. So, ito yun, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 3 and 2, 4 and 1. Okay. So, dito, kung mapapansin natin, merong 1, 4, tsaka 4, 1. So, ika-count ba natin yon as 1 lang? Hindi po. Magkaiba po ang 1, 4 sa 4, 1. Okay. So, magkaiba yung outcomes na yun ha. Same as 2, 3, 3, 2. Magkaiba po yan. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, ika-count po natin yan individually. So, we have there 4. Ayan, yung may sum na 5. And then, what is the sample space? Okay, so, kapag die naman ang ating niro-roll, that is 6 raised to the n power. Wherein 6, ito yung number of outcomes in a die. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kanina, yung coin, dalawa lang, head tsaka tail, kaya 2 raised to n. So, iro-roll natin siya twice, that is 6 squared. 6 times 6 is 36. So, our sample space is 36. Now, 4 over 36 is not the final answer. We need to simplify this. So, by getting the greatest common factor. Okay, so, kahit tandaan, basta fraction yan, kahit anong topic pa yan, kailangan po natin i-simplify. So, divide natin by 4. So, that is 4 divided by 4, 1. 36 divided by 4, that is 9. So, ibig sabihin, the probability of getting the sum of two numbers is 5 ay 1 over 9. So, yung probability na makakuha tayo ng sum of 5 is 1 over 9. What about sum of two numbers is 13? So, anong probability? Okay. So, kung titignan natin yung pinaka-last na outcome dito, which is dalawang 6. Okay. So, kapag pinag-add natin yon, we'll have 12. So, ibig sabihin yung maximum sum ng dalawang dice na yan is only 12. So, ang kinahanap natin dito, 13, and that is impossible. 13 is greater than 12. So, our answer for this particular problem is 0. That is impossible to happen. For letter C, what is the probability of getting identical numbers? So, identical numbers, parehong numero po dapat sila on the first and second outcome. So, lahat lang na magkakapareho, like for example, 1, 1, ayan, pababa, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and then 6, 6. Kung bibilangin natin yan, meron po tayong 6. So, 6 over 36. And then, simplify natin siya. The GCF is 6. So, our answer will be 1 over 6. For letter D, what is the probability of getting the first number is less than the second number? Okay, ibig sabihin, yung unang outcome natin, yung unang number natin, mas mababa daw siya sa second number. Okay, so, hanapin natin yan. So, magsimula tayo sa 1, 1. So, hindi pa natin pwedeng i-count yan dahil pareho lang sila. So, 1, 2. So, yung first number is less than the second number. So, kasama po yan. Lahat yan, pababa. So, may pattern siya. So, dito, 2, 1, 2, 2, hindi pwede. So, ayan, pababa. 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6. Pabawas siya. Sa first column, 5. Sa second, 4. So, sa third naman, 3. Sa fourth, ayan, 2. And then, sa fifth column, meron lang tayong 1. And then, on the sixth column, wala na po. So, kung bibilangin natin yan, ilan lahat yan? So, 5 plus 4, 9 plus 3, 12 plus 2, 14 plus 1, we have 15. So, that is 15 over 36. And then, simplify natin yan, yung GCF is 3. So, 15 divided by 3, that is 5. 36 divided by 3, that is 12. So, our final answer will be 5 over 12. So, kung pinagbaligtad naman yan, second number is less than the the first number. So, isa-subtract lang natin yung 15 over 36 sa 1. So, ang lilitaw na sagot doon is 7 over 12. Next, the probability wherein the product of two numbers is greater than 10. So, kung kanina pinag-add natin, ngayon naman dapat kapag pinag-multiply natin yung dalawang numbers, greater than 10 dapat. Okay. So, sa first column, ang pinaka-maximum product is 6. And then on the second column, ang maximum product is 2 times 6, 12. So, counted siya. So, 2 times 5 is 10. Hindi po yan counted. It's because greater than 10. Mas mataas sa 10. Next. 3 times 4, 12. This is 15. This is 18. 3 times 3, hindi pwede. It's because 9. Less than 10 po yun. Next. 4 times 3. 4 times 4. 4 times 5. 4 times 6. Next. 5 times 3. 5 times 4. 5 times 5. 5 times 6. So, lahat ng mga binibilugan ko na yan, yung product ng dalawang numbers nila is greater than 10. Then ito. Ayan. So, yung maximum product natin dyan is 36. So, kung bibilangin po natin yan, meron po tayong 1 plus 3, 4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12 plus 5, 17. So, 17 over 36. So, ito na po yung ating simplified answer. Wala na po kasing GCF aside from 1. For our last example, we have cards naman. So, a card is randomly drawn from a deck of 52 cards. Find the probability that the card drawn is, for letter A, an ace. And then for letter B, black card. Okay, so sa card, meron po tayong 4 na suits. Ito yung heart, diamond, club, tsaka spade. And then kada suit, meron po tayong 13 numbers. So, yung first number natin is yung ace. So, equivalent value ng ace is 1. And then 2 to 10. And then yung J, Q, tsaka K, yun yung Jack, Queen, King. J, 11 ang value niya. Yung Q or Queen, 12. And then yung King, 13. So, ang tinatanong dito, find the probability that the card drawn is an ace. Okay. So, ilan po ang ace sa standard deck of 52 cards? Meron po tayong 4 na ace. Ace of heart, ace of diamond, ace of club, ace of spade. So, that is 4 over the sample space, which is 52. So, 4 over 52, pwede natin yung i-simplify. Yung GCF is 4. So, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 52 by 4, that is 13. So, our final answer will be 1 over 13. Next. probability of getting a black card. Okay, so sa mga suits na to, meron tayong tinatawag na red cards tsaka black cards. So yung mga red cards natin, heart and diamond. And then yung club and spade, ito yung mga tinatawag nating black cards. So again, kada suit meron tayong 13 cards. So kung i-add natin yon, so that is 13 over 52 para yun sa club plus 13 over spade. Ayan. 13 over 52. So, i-add natin yan since similar fractions naman sila. That is 26 over 52. Or just simply 1/2. So, kalahati. Next, for letter C, a red queen. Okay. So, ilan ang queens natin? 4. And then, sa 4 na yon, dalawa doon yung red card, dalawa yung black card. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong 2 over 52. So, yung mga red queen natin, ito yung heart and diamond. So, 2 over 52 or 1 over 26. Yung GCF nila is 2. Next, a spade. Okay, so, spade is a suit. Okay, so ilan ang spade cards natin sa isang deck? So we have 13. So 13 over 52. Or just simply 1/4. GCF is 13. Okay, so ayan. So we have 1/4. Last, we have a face card. Okay, so meron tayong tinatawag na mga face cards tsaka non-face cards. Basically, pag face card ang pinag-uusapan natin, ito po yung may mga mukha. Okay, so alin sa mga cards natin ang may mayroong mga mukha? Ito po yung mga jack cards, queen cards, and then yung mga king cards. So, kada cards na yan, meron po tayong 4 na suit, syempre. So, kung i-add natin yan, that is 12 over 52. And then, yung GCF ng 12 and 52 is 4. So, 12 divided by 4 is 3. 52 divided by 4, that is 13. So, we have 3 over 13. Last one, a king of hearts. Okay, so dito very specific siya. So, king na siya, and then hearts pa. Hindi lang siya a king. A king of hearts. Basically, isang card lang po ang meron tayo na ganito. So, king of hearts. So, kung king, meron tayong 4. So, dahil king of hearts, specific siya, we have 1 over 52. So, isang card lang po ang meron din. So, that is 1 over 52. So, what's next? So, since na-discuss ko na po sa inyo yung introduction on probability, we'll now move on to probability of a union of two events.